Hello, Miss Wilkay. How's your day been going so far?
It's been okay. How are you doing today, Ms. Menes?
Good. I really enjoyed coming to your class and seeing you and your class perform. I was really impressed with the centers. I just wanted to say, as you reflect on your lesson, how do you feel that the lesson went?
I think it went okay.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have a lot of the students ask me questions because they were able to go through it on their own.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say that today it was successful.
Good. I really enjoyed seeing the centers. I noticed that as the students were in centers, that over 90% of them were engaged. They were really actively learning. Given that information, what do you make of 90% of your kids being engaged?
Well, actually, since this is like my third year teaching, and this is my third year trying centers, I want to say that I've practiced over time trying to make sure that my centers were things that my students would be capable of doing on their own. I've practiced making sure that whatever it was that we were working on was something that I've taught before, so they don't need me as much. It's supposed to be student geared, where they're able to do it on their own and feel successful at the end of the activity.
Good. So the release of learning is independent on the students while they're in the centers.
Yes.
Okay. As you reflect back on the goals for the lesson, what do you have to say about the students' achievement and how they were able to obtain the results?
Okay. So as I was walking around and monitoring them, making sure that they were doing what they're supposed to, I can tell that they were excited themselves as I was checking it because they were doing the best that they could. They wanted me to come and give them the check marks because they knew that they were being successful.
Those check marks were indicating their success.
Yes.
Good.
And students, one thing that you want to make sure that you put in them is motivation. So as they're working on it, like I said, I'm giving them something that I've already taught. And it's just for retention, just to make sure that they're getting the lesson. It's showing me, that they're understanding it. And then if they're not, it lets me know that when I pull my groups, that these are certain kids that I might need to pull to work with me. So, but I want to say that being able to go through it and watching them work through it, and it was showing that they were doing the best that they could. And tomorrow I know that they're going to do better because we only went through like the first half of the centers. So tomorrow they're going to try even better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, based on those results, what did you do to produce those results that you obtained? In order to get those results, what was everything that you had to do to work towards that?
I just had to make sure that I grouped my students correctly, so they are heterogeneously grouped, meaning that I do have some highs, some mediums, and some lows, and they're able to assist each other, like peer grouping. They're able to ask their neighbors questions because I do pull groups on my own. So I want them to be able to work on the centers without my assistance. Right.
I noticed some of the centers were differentiated.
Yes. I have it set up where the kids are working. That's something actually I'm still working on. But I have it set up where the kids are working on their own. They have mostly 3 centers that are based on my subject, and then I put other subjects areas in there, some math, some science, and some reading. So, just whatever I can do to help the other teachers out. But I set it up where they're able to, I don't know how to explain it. I guess just feed off of each other.
Okay, good.
I think students learn best when they're learning from their peers, in a sense.
I agree.
Also, yeah.
So, as we plan future lessons and future observations, what insights have you developed based on these lessons that you plan on carrying forward to your next lessons?
Well, like you said, differentiation. That's something I've been going through training for because I do work with a large group of special ed children. Being on a team that has supported learning, I think that's what they call it. It's kind of like co-teach. I've been working more towards trying to make my activities more leveled for those other kids that can't get that higher up, because there are some kids that are not successful at centers, so I usually pull those ones to work with me. And the kids that are successful, they're good on their own, but I want to allow those kids the opportunity to work in those centers and be successful also. So I'm just working right now towards trying to make more activities where they're able to go to those centers with their peers and be successful just like them.
Well, I think that having kids actively engaged and having so many learner-centered activities going, I think that it's really in a move towards the right step. So I look forward to coming to visit you in your class again, and we'll set up our next date soon.
Okay,
thank you. Thank you for your time. Bye.